Welcome to this episode of Video Drone by DIY3DTech.com. It's finally here. Actually, it came rather quick. I ordered it on the release date. This is Monday of the following week. FedEx just showed up at my door, asked for a signature, and handed me this box. So for $1,500, here's what you get, folks. So this is the Mavic 2 Pro. Hasselblad 1-inch sensor, 4K, 10-bit HDR video, omnidirectional obstacle sensing, 8-kilometer video transmission, 31-minute flight time, 72 kilometers per hour maximum speed. This is the killer drone. So, of the drones out there. So, I bought this over the Zoom. I pretty much felt since I had the Mavic Pro 1 and it's got the step zoom, I really didn't need the dolly features of it for what I'm doing. And I felt that the 10-bit Hasselblad camera was a bigger selling feature for another $200 over top of the zoom, because also you can change filters on this. So DJI already has released filters for this, and I think that's a big thumbs up instead of hacking them over the existing platform. So let's get in, opening this box, and see what's in here, guys, as if you didn't know. Ta-da! Well, here we are. The Mavic Pro 2. So, very Apple-esque, if you will. Nice kind of instructions, kind of taped to the unit. Is a little bit heavier, and I'll do sort of a little bit of a comparison video coming up between the two, because I kind of want to do just sort of an unboxing. So definitely, you know, check out the sensors, man. This thing is crazy censored. So you got sensor here, sensor here, sensor here, sensor here, sensor there. Look at the sensors on the bottom of this guy. Here's the landing lights. I mean, heck, and there is the massive camera. So the legs and everything fold out just like the existing Mavic Pro or the Mavic 1. But I tell you, this camera assembly is far larger. Remove the global protector before powering on. Alrighty, so let's put that sticker over there. And let's take a look at this. This is really the meat and potatoes of the end. Now, one of the things does seem to have a built-in sort of gimbal lock scenario. Sort of like you might have seen me do a video for an additional add-on part. So this bubble seems to hold the camera in place. Look at this massive bad boy camera. That is astonishing. And again, the whole gimbal assembly, far more robust, but definitely far heavier. And you know, if you look at the battery assembly, and again, I'll do a comparison, far different battery than the existing Mavic Pro. So this is very interesting. So I'm going to set this down. And again, controller, very nice, upgraded. It appears to be very similar. We have the joystick control. We have the control panel, very much like the regular one. Unfold antennas and make okay. So we got to add the joysticks. It has the screw-in joysticks down here, sort of like the Mavic Air, that pop out, and again just screw in here as such. And this is just beauteous, folks. So really like the tactical feel on top. It says I need to fold the antennas out and open, which we're not going to fly anything now. So it's got looks like a protective coating on top of here. I've got thumb wheels, feel good. Looks it's got set up for an Apple phone here to plug in, and again, good feel to it. Nice balanced weight to this. So let's set this down, and then here it appears we have probably our charging paraphernalia. And that's it. It is our charging paraphernalia. So it has the charger, USB out, so it can charge the controller and phone. This charges the battery, and here's your power cord to plug into the wall. And let's set that here. We have, I think, the USB cables here. And we do, so we have the different USB connectors. Looks like we got a second set of joysticks in case we lose these. That's a nice touch, DJI. And then we have a USB cable. And this looks like maybe a USB, some sort of USB adapter. I'm not sure if it's USB to USB-C. Does it say? Not really. So we'll toss that over there. So the question, there are no props on here. Maybe the props are in here? Yep, this shows props in here, so let's go ahead and open this up. Whoop. Whoop. So. Okay, so we have the obligatory books. Nobody ever reads, and people always complain at me I should read it. I typically will scan the PDFs online, but reading that kind of small print just is not practical. And then we have the props here. So let's go ahead and open up the props. The props are distinctly different. I've never purchased the Mavic the Platinum props. Because a lot of folks, mentioned that was a bad idea to run them on the classic Mavic because they could hit the frame. So I've just never done it. But these definitely have, as you can see here, foils on the tips where it's kind of like painted. Now, one of the things that I had when I put that, I wrote that I bought the Mavic 2. I had a lot of people tell me, oh, you're crazy, Mavic Airs, blah, blah, blah. I really don't think so. Again, I am not bullish on the Mavic Air. I think it's okay. I don't like the fixed propellers. I like the folding props as we have here. And I don't think that, again, for the amount of money, because you can get a Mavic, the original Mavic Pro, refurbed or on discount for around $700. You can actually, if you look, buy it cheaper than the Mavic Air, and I think that's a better way to go still yet. Because flight time, big difference. I'm talking Mavic, the original Mavic Pro. Second thing is the AccuSync, or the protocol it uses for communication. Again, one of the big things that I think, while I will fly a Wi-Fi based drone, not having some sort of control protocol like AccuSync, etc., I think is rather foolish for drone manufacturers because of interference. With a protocol, you have a handshake, and I think that's what's important, and that's why I definitely give something like this kudos far above something like the Air. But anyways, back to the two. So we've now got all this unboxed, and I'm assuming that the props go on there pretty much as they do the regular ones, or the other ones. I'm just looking, see if these are color coded, because you can see here these are color coded. These are black, these are white, and now it appears they have given us 6 props, and I'm gonna have to double check, because they are clockwise, they are marked for which are which, but I was looking, oh, they are. There's a little circle, so these 3 and these 3, so here are the whites, so the whites actually go on here, so I'm assuming, it's a typical press and turn, which is correct. And we take the blacks and we just kind of do press and turn the other way, and then let's do sort of a press and turn this way, and then we go back to the whites, and boom, we have the props on. Beauteous, beauteous. I'm going to remove this sticker. Now, one of the other things you notice that there are no lights on here like in the standard or the original Mavic, so it must be something with this button that actually I'm holding it, so this must be totally discharged, probably for shipping. Also notice that as I move this, the gimbal really camera doesn't flop around, so that must be relatively well balanced. There appears to be the slot for the SD card. I'm not sure it came with an SD card. The one box with the props, now that's the cables. Must have been this one. Oh, it must documentation. So I don't see where this has come with an SD card, where my original Mavic did come with an SD card. Not a big deal, I do have them, but this baby is definitely a wee bit heavier than the original. So again, I'll do some follow-up vids on kind of comparing these, but roughly this is what I got in the box for 1,500 bucks. I find this very interesting. Now, the weather out here the past couple days and into the next couple days are going to be pretty crappy, so thunderstorms and that, so I'm not sure when I'm going to get out to fly this. I'm definitely very anxious. I also find it interesting, there seems to be air inlets with little removable tabs here. I don't know if you can see that in there, so that's kind of interesting. So a lot of interesting stuff. I hope to explore it. I'm hoping to also discover, yes, Stan, if it has digital zoom capability. I'm betting if it doesn't, that it'll come in a future firmware release, because that's simply just binning the image sensor. So anyways, hopefully you found this interesting. I'm really excited to get this guy. I've been really itching to get this. Now, one of the things, I'm sure it says somewhere in the instructions to peel off all these sensor covers, and there does seem to be quite a few sensor covers. So I'm going to pull this off, and I'm also going to put my label inside. Now, one of the things, I did not at this time buy any extra batteries. One of the pieces that I find when something like this comes out, everything is really expensive when it comes out, and then a month or two it kind of settles down in price once the initial rush is over with. So typically, if I'm going to buy something like this, I'm going to buy roughly the base unit, or what I feel the best value for the money is at the time. Now, this has a 31-minute battery, so for practical standpoints, for my YouTube shooting experience, this is probably 2 to 3 videos on this battery. So starting out with one battery for me is perfectly fine. I've got the other Mavic Pro, which when I go out into the field, I will also fly. So I got plenty of flight time already between those two birds and this existing battery. And the fact I have 3 batteries for the other Mavic, which, you know, that's a 20-some minutes. So there's an hour of flight time right there. So I'm going to wait for the battery prices to settle on these a little bit, because it's just like with the Mavic Pro 1, let's call it, that I have. When I bought the batteries, I was able to take my time and get them at a pretty good discount. Now, they're supposed to be genuine DJI batteries, but I bought them for like 10 or 15 bucks per battery as a discount, and I think I bought 2 of them at the same time, and it was some kind of package deal that they're running on special. So I think you'll see the same thing with this. So again, I'd really suggest the basics. Now, I'm really interested in, you know, my understanding, and I'm not going to do it right here. I do want to, well, I want to check. My understanding is that this pops off, and I don't want to torque it too much, but I'm going to check the instructions. But this tips off or pops off to place other filters on, and I forget which way it turns, if you got to push it in or what you have to do. But the idea I like is to be able to put other filters on this. and have it designed for other filters. That's what I think is really cool, because I think one of the things you'll see is them come out with add-ons for this camera assembly, which is really, really cool. And I got to tell you guys, the gimbal setup on this is really, really nice compared to the original. So I'm giving this one big thumbs up. Maybe we'll get it like this and we'll give it a big thumbs up. And hey, let me know in the comments below what you think. Did I do the right thing? Should I have bought the Zoom? Stan is having second thoughts on the Zoom. You know, he said, Joe, I'd never buy the Zoom. I got a Mavic Pro. And so I went with the Mavic 2, and now he's saying, Joe, maybe the Zoom is better. Well, you know, I think here's my kind of closing, you know, Jerry Springer 2 cents. So if you don't have a Mavic 1 and you want to enter the Mavic arena, I think the Zoom is probably the way to go if you want to step up and have the airframe features of this bird, as well as an improved camera setup. I think the Zoom is your bird. I think if you already have a Mavic Pro and you want to step up, I think the Mavic 2 is the way to go, unless you're a videographer and you really need to have the dolly zoom, because I think that is the one feature that really, really plays out with the Zoom, is the dolly feature. If you need that, that's the bird for you. And if you're really in that business, spending an extra $1,200 getting both of them probably is not that big of a deal. If you're a hobbyist like me, then you're going to probably want to pick and choose. Now, so the other thing, and again, joking aside a bit, the 1-inch sensor is going to have far better low light. And I'll talk about a little bit about all this stuff in a future video, but this is going to have better low light sensitivity, because one of the things with a larger sensor, what you get is larger pixel sites, and think of those pixel sites as buckets. So if you have a real small bucket, only so many photons can go in and fill that bucket, but if you have a big bucket, that's going to collect more photons quicker. And so you're going to have less noise, but roughly about the same number of megapixels. And so this is the, I think, important thing with this, especially for still imaging, getting, you know, still images in lower light in sort of the golden, you know, area of photography, you know, sunrise, sunset. This is where you want to be. So anyways, I rambled enough. Let me know what you guys are thinking about for lunch. I'm going to skip lunch. Well, no, I'm not going to skip lunch because it's raining outside. I was going to say to go fly this, but we'll see you guys next video. Cheers.